What's going on, everybody? FaZe Meek here, and I was just going to bring you guys a quick little sort of tutorial, I guess you can say. I've had a lot of people ask me how I edit, like what my workflow is, and you know, the process that I go through from the point when I get clips to when I do the final render. And since I don't really have anything good I can give you guys a tutorial on, I don't really have any effects that aren't already known by everyone. So I figured I'd just show you guys my workflow real quick, since a lot of people seem to be interested in that. So yeah, I guess I'll just explain it to you from the very start. Usually how it goes is I have someone send me clips, usually either on Skype or through a Gamefront link or a Mediafire link or something like that. And what I'll usually do is I'll have them send me the clips and I'll open up my After Effects. Usually by the time I start an edit, I already have kind of an idea of, you know, like I said, I have like a document on my computer where I write down all my ideas whenever I think of them. And so when I start an edit, I usually already have kind of an idea of the direction I want it to go in. I usually already have a song in mind, so I can kind of piece those two together and kind of think in my head kind of you know, how I want the edit to look and think of some cool ideas. So I'll just bring in I just chose a random song and a random clip. But what I do is I just pull in my clips and my song into After Effects, and then I would also grab everything that I could possibly think of using, or that I'm gonna need to use in the edit, like FaZe logo, Imagine Customs logo, or I mean intros, and you know, if I need any gun sounds or you know, any miscellaneous things, I'd bring them all into After Effects. Get everything all set up here, and then I make my comp, obviously. If you don't know comp settings, there you go, that helps. But this is where I don't know how other editors do it, but I'm pretty sure I do it probably the hard way. I don't know. I've been editing the same way that I've always edited since I started learning After Effects. I've never done anything special in After Effects to like change, you know, how it looks. I don't change the colors of, you know, the different layers. I don't change, you know, I don't do anything special pretty much. I just pretty much standard version of After Effects. I just open it up and get right to it. There's nothing special. So what I usually do is I'll get my song in there, and I usually go through an edit 4 times. The first time I go through an edit, I go through and I sync the clips. So obviously I'll work the whole way through with the waveform up, and I'll sync the clips. I'm not going to show you how because that's a separate thing, obviously. But I'll sync up the clips with the music first, and once I use a clip, I usually have a folder. I make a folder called just like used or something along those lines, and whenever I use a clip, I just throw it in the used folder just so I know that, you know, I've used that clip, and I can kind of monitor my progress on the side and just like watch the clips go down until I'm on the last one. But I go through and I sync everything up with the music, get it to the point where I like it, and I don't do any effects the first pass through, unless I kind of need them just to see, you know, if it's gonna work well with the song. Like every once in a while I'll throw in a transition, or like, you know, add some sort of shot effect or something on the clip, just so I know, you know, if it looks good before I go back through. But for the most part, the first pass through is just sync, and I leave black spots too. So if I wanted to have a cinematic right here, I'd split the clip. Oh, I keep forgetting that you can't do that. I'd split the clip, and I'll just not do it, but and just leave a black spot in between where I want the cinematic. And I know sometimes I'll make like a text layer that just says like insert cinematic here or some dumb shit like that, and insert cine here, hers, and then I'll just have it there just so that whenever I go to a black spot, I'll know, or like it catches my eye easier. But I don't always do that. Sometimes I just leave it black. So in the second pass through is when I go get all my cinematics, and I come back through and I just lay them all on the timeline, and I get everything all synced to the music and all good. And then I come back through a third time, and that third time is when I do pretty much all the actual editing. So, you know, effects, transitions, whatever else that I think would be cool. Like I said, if I have an idea that's just like pressing me in my head and I want to know how it looks, I'll do it the first pass through. Otherwise, I'll come back through and do it on the third time. And I'll go back through there, and each time I pass through too, I kind of just fix up little mistakes here and there, so that by the time I'm done with the fourth pass through, it's pretty much done, and there's just minor things that I need to fix. And then the final pass through, the fourth one, what I do is I come through and I lay out the intros and I do my Cinema 4D text if I need to do any, or I do all my tracking, and just lay it all out, and I get the intro all good, and so yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I guess technically there will be a fifth pass through where I go back through and just kind of make sure that everything's good, make sure everything looks fine, there's no mistakes, and I preview the whole thing all together. And then as far as pre-comps go, I'll only work in a pre-comp. Usually I just have everything in the main comp just because I'm lazy and I don't want to make pre-comps, but unless something's like really complicated and it's going to take a lot of work to do, like to a specific clip, I'll put it in a pre-comp. But other than that, I just leave it all in the main comp, which is, I know you can make fun of me because I'm pretty sure no other editor does everything in a main comp, but I do because I'm lazy. And yeah, and then what I do right before I render is I put everything into a main comp. So I'll just, you know, control all the layers, put everything into a pre-comp, and I'll throw RSMB on that, and then I'll do some black bars, and you know, if I want to do black bars, and that's pretty much it. And then I just add my CC on the adjustment layers and call it good. Usually I just use one CC the whole way through just because I like my stuff to match. If it's a really bright map or a really dark map and the CC doesn't look good, I'll adjust it specifically for those maps. But if it looks good on every map, if it's one of those type of CCs, I'll just use one CC on the entire thing. Yeah, and then I render, and then after I render, I compress with Handbrake. I've had a few people ask me that too, what compression software I use. Handbrake is the best in my opinion. It's really fast and it always, you know, puts out a good result. One thing though, if you put it into Handbrake and there's some black bars, if you have black bars on your edit, it'll be all distorted, like the display size will be all off because it thinks that the black bars are dead space. So you'll have to go to custom and make sure that the output is still 1080 by 720. But yeah, then I just compress it in Handbrake and it goes through and does it really fast. Usually before I compress and edit, it's anywhere from like 2 to 4 gigs. It's usually huge, and after compression it's usually somewhere around, you know, like 1 to 200 megabytes. As you can see, it compresses it quite a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So for those of you that were interested in learning my workflow, that's pretty much all there is to it. Like I said, I don't really do anything special. I don't do anything like as far as convenience goes in After Effects. I don't color my clips or color my layers, I mean, or you know, do anything crazy with pre-comps or anything, even though I probably should. But you know, I learned to edit a while back, so I've just been doing it the same way I've always been doing it, and it works fine for me. So if you guys are interested, that's my workflow. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll try to answer all of them. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.